What is up, obscure mic people? As you can see, I'm talking on the Shure SM7DB, and today's microphone that we're going to talk about blows my mind a little bit because I can't believe nobody's checked it out, done a video, nothing. Like the first iteration of this microphone, which is the Golden Age Project's D2 Mark II. You'll notice it says B stock. I got mine pretty cheap because it has a blemish on the body. That's what she said. She likes blemishes on the body. That's why she likes me. Anyways, Golden Age D2 Mark II. I didn't love the Mark I. I thought it was kind of thinnish, a little tinny. The build quality, the looks, the aesthetic, I liked everything about it in that sense, but that was about where it ended. Now, let's take a look at the Golden Age D2 Mark II, which, according to Golden Age, has an upgraded dynamic capsule that is smoother, more pleasing, kind of like a fresh shave in the shower, if you know what I'm talking about. Although, in my older age, I kind of like the Gavin Rossdale look. You know what's a lot of fun is I went to get the mic out of the box, and the mic's already out of the box. It's on the old mount. It's going to take me a while to get back in the full swing of things. I'm a little rusty, but it does come with a nice carrying case. Big, nice, thick carrying case. Big, nice, and thick, also what she might have said. And it fits perfectly like a glove. Also, let's, look at that. Microphone, same as the Mark I. It's nice, man. It's a nice aesthetic, nice look, nice build quality. It has the filter switches on the back. I'll show you. And legit, man, good weight, good heft, great build quality. Better pizza, Papa John's. They paid me to say that. Actually, they didn't. But you've been listening to the SM7DB, which is the newest, latest, and greatest from Shure. It's in bypass mode. There's no preamp action going on here. And we're going to switch over to the Golden Age Project's D2 Mark II, and we're going to do that now. Again, this is the same as the Mark I. It's got a nice yoke mount, just like the SM7B and DB. It's total quality here. You got a tightening nut. Let's switch over to it. All right, so this is the Golden Age Project's D2 Mark II right off the rip. Obviously, a lot brighter than the SM7DB. But I definitely don't think it's in like a bad way, so to speak. I do think it already sounds better than the D2 Mark I, which again was thinnish and just not that great to listen to. This, I don't love the sound after being on the SM7DB because that was smoother and more pleasant on the ears. And this is in flat mode completely. So we do have some filter switches we'll roll through. But even in flat mode, I feel like it is just a little bit harsh up top. So I'm not overly impressed from the get-go. And that's why we're going to use a base model mic as the opener for all mics to come because of this. Big difference here. This is the SM7DB. And that's a huge difference. Massive difference. And now we're back on the Golden Age Project's D2 Mark II. The difference is just this almost sounds cheap in comparison. And I'm actually a little bit disappointed because I was excited because I knew it was going to be better. And it is than the D2 Mark I. And it just doesn't scream quality sound to me. Maybe I'm being jaded by the smoothness and warmth of the SM7DB, but I feel like this is coming through really harshly in the upper register, and I'm just not really feeling it. But let's go ahead and do some tests with the D2 Mark II, see how it handles plosive, see how it handles off-axis rejection, and then maybe we'll go take a seat on the casting couch and just get down with the sickness. All right. Plosives first. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pineapple pizza. Now when we get right on top of the Golden Age D2 Mark II. This is what it sounds like when you are directly on top of the microphone and using that proximity effect to your advantage to maybe add a little oomph on the bottom, take away all the harshness up top. It does get better, but not a ton. There's just something off in that upper frequency. There's just something off about the top end to me. Just a little bit. There's a little bit of nasality to it. There's a little bit of like just tight, grainy vibrato, as I've said a million times about microphones that just aren't very smooth. Again, it's not terrible, nothing like that, but it's a little disappointing to say the least. I don't need every microphone to be dark and smooth like the SM7B, but there's got to be a nice balance, and I feel like the balance of this one is just off. The sound signature is just a little wonky and off, but maybe some filters will help. Let's go ahead and flip this thing around, do the off-axis rejection. All right, I got the microphone. I'm going to spin it around 90 degrees off-axis so you can hear what the off-axis rejection sounds like. 180 degrees on the microphone. 90 degrees the opposite way, back around to the front of the microphone. This is what that sounds like. It looks really good. Very attractive mic, really nice yoke mount. And again, if I didn't have a bass mic to compare it to, maybe I would plug this up and be like, shave a little off the top end and I think you'll be okay. But let's go ahead and play with some filter switches. There's a high pass on here and it's the very last switch. So this should maybe help us out. We're going to do that first just to see what it gives us. All right, there's the high pass. Okay, that definitely is a bit of an improvement. Kind of balances things out a little bit. So you do have the high pass. There's still some nasal stuff going on and it's still a little honky. So I don't love it still. That little bit of an improvement, but yeah. Back to flat mode. We'll go ahead and enable the first high pass filter. And this is the first high pass filter. Hate the way that sounds, honestly. Now we have a more aggressive high pass filter because that's what we want. All right, there's the more aggressive one. Let's just take some more bottom end out of it. Why don't we? Yeah, I don't know about that. We're back in flat mode. Let's do the low pass one more time. Now there's the low pass. The low pass is the way to go, in my opinion. It makes it almost usable, kind of, sort of. Like I said, it doesn't sound awful. It's just off. It just sounds a little off. I don't think, back in flat mode, I just don't think this is something that I'd be excited to drop $150 on. $150 is a pretty solid deal. I got this for right at $100 because of the B stock, because it has a little paint chip off of the stem. But looks wise, fantastic. Build wise, fantastic. Sound wise, just kind of mediocre. I wouldn't rush out to grab this one. I wouldn't be super excited about using it. It does sound better than the Mark 1, in my opinion, but it's still not enough, in my opinion. It sounds cheap dynamic-ish is what I would say. So Golden Age D2, nice try. Just no cigar. I'm going to grade this based off 100 and 150. To me, there's not much difference. 100, 150, both doable if you're looking for a microphone. On the BB-SAR at 100 or 150, the Golden Age D2 Mark II garners a score, I've got a cousin named Garner, of a 5. It is average. Not a great deal, not a bad deal. Again, good build quality, yoke mount. Maybe if you have a super deep voice, this might work out really well. Otherwise, just too much harshness at the top and that wonky kind of nasally stuff in the middle. And the lows are okay, but honestly could use a little more. It could be a little more V-shaped and it might work out a little better. Again, you could add EQ. You could do all those things. You can do whatever you want. That's what a microphone is. It's clay for you to mold. But this clay is just a little crusty on top. I'm going to use that in more videos, that's for sure. That's all I got for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed another Obscure Mike video. Hopefully you were looking for this video to see if this was something you should drop $100 or $150 on. I'm still shocked that there's no videos about it. I was kind of pumped to do it, and now I'm kind of like, say, all right. I'm going to go take a little nap on the casting couch, and then me and Bronson are going to bring you not a casting couch video, an Obscure Hotline podcast that we're getting ready to record. Go check that out on YouTube. Obscure Hotline is what it's called. Me and Bronson typically just being degenerates. Obscure Mics. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.